folks, welcome back to Timberborn and our experimental Let's Play. So, one of you had a brilliant idea of how we can deal with this and having a single pump. So we are going to get rid of these and get that going. It's kind of like the idea of only needing the one pump. I might be being a bit overzealous with my deleting of things, but we're going to delete everything and start again. So the idea was that we need to unlock the sluices, but that's fine. So we put in, think about where we want to put the pump. Thought is we kind of put the water pump. Yeah. To there anyway. So there. There. Ladder coming down. Have the large water pump there. We then have sluice there. Let's do that there. Works, and then put another sluice there. And then we build a flood defense around it. Watches are not waterproof. That placement is not gonna work. Okay. Okay, so we're not gonna need to come out here. Duh. That's okay. We're saving on some building materials. Put it there. And come across here. That's fine. Yeah. That works. And then we use the sluices. So you will be a close above 1. And I guess you can be a close above 4. Yeah. And that should always let water through. I kind of like that idea. So it'll be sitting below the water level, but the sluice will essentially just keep this little channel full. And I liked that idea. I thought that was kind of cool. One of you had the rather sensible suggestion. We should be making more use of windmills, of replacing most of these with windmills, so we should do that. Yeah, windmill there. Probably. Yep. We'll start getting those in, because this is obviously not going to work during a drought. So, yeah, makes sense. And the other very good suggestion was basically to eventually get rid of these and block up down here somewhere. I think the easy short-term answer Well, the short-term answer is just to close these. But the less short-term answer is probably to like levy across there. That requires a staircase. So let's do that. The other one that one of you pointed out was I did all of this for when what we can actually do is that. Not sure which way he's going to go, but yeah, that was a thing we could do as well. But we've got that building queued up. The next thing we want to think about is the aquatic garden. Now, I'm at risk of doing things very similarly to what I've just started doing on the Leaf Coats Let's Play. They will be somewhat different, so apologies if they are similar, but you know, there's a limit to how different you can make things in a game like this. But I'll try. So my plan on here is essentially to levy this, and then we'll have some sluices to let water in. How many we need? Yep, but sluices are a one-way valve, so they'll let the water come in, which is good. And then how big do we make the aquatic farm? Good question. Well asked. I guess the question comes, how much can the aquatic farm? I feel if I put it there, we lose a couple of tiles. But that probably doesn't matter, because we have to have a ladder going in anyway. I think if we do that, and then the ladder, so they can farm out to there, but then we could just put another aquatic farm in. Because I'm tempted to do all of this level. That's probably not worth doing. That's a big project. But and then do something similar like somewhere here. So like that basically, and then move that path over, delete that scrappy bit of path, and between them they can do all of that out quite a way. The bad tide is, so this has started producing water early. No? Water levels seem to change, or is it just retreating? Not sure. Oh, they're pumping this out. Yes. So we will need some path in here to get all of this built. Let's put that in. That's nearly done. All of that. Yep. Awesome. Oh. To open that up. Let's think. For now, that's going to stay closed. That might as well be fully open. That can be fully open. You can be paused. You could be fully open. You can go to like that. Go. Then we need to sort out pumping water. Awesome. So I did check, actually, because I said I wasn't sure what difficulty level we were on. We are on hard difficulty, which makes me surprised that our droughts aren't significantly longer yet. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're going here. This should still be filling. I guess it's now getting to the point where it's a big area to fill. So, yeah. So this has flooded. Okay. That's open. Because I didn't check the box. Okay. It's now closed. So we're going to have to wait for that to dry out a little bit. Because I was dumb. That's okay. It'll evaporate. There's not a lot of water in there. We have injured beavers. Have 5 injured beavers. We have 3 medical beds. Okay. We need more medical beds. That we can address, whatever. I did not check you either, so yeah. You're now closed as well. I'm tempted. Let's just let that evaporate. We've got very adequate water pumping. We don't have adequate bad water pumping now. So let's address that. Which I think means we're going to need to delete this one. So that we can have a path here. And then build those. And build those. Yeah. Go, I think. Our 2 flooded buildings are, yeah, right. I think we should delete you because you're going to be flooded a lot. You shouldn't be. I am really tempted to try and fix that with a little water pump. And just to have it as like an emergency. But might solve if we do this again. Because you know I'm going to. No, I'm going to keep doing that. So... Right, guessing we could go there with the next windmill. Yeah. Should mean there. Yep. So this should be generating a ridiculous amount of power, which it is. Awesome. How are we doing for trees? Pretty good. We probably need to put in a bigger forest at some point, or expand this. That means we need to deal with the bad water, so yeah, we can't do everything at once. And And we were going to start doing zip lines, weren't we? Yeah, you were. You were. We need more food storage as well. Need more everything. So 13 beavers short. Where are our shortages? Hopefully hauling posts. Yeah. Now, I guess it's time to build more beaver accommodation. Build another 2 blocks. And do the same thing. No, let's put the roof the right way around. Get empty. Let's prioritize that and those, because otherwise they're going to build that whole aquatic garden before we get to getting this sorted. And probably let's do those as well. The aquatic garden's nice and all, but actually we need the other stuff. Technical term, stuff. And then we need to think about keeping it irrigated, and I think this area is a nice spot for that. I'm thinking to another drought, 11-day drought. Okay, pause. Didn't spot that one coming, which kind of sucks. So get you going. Close that up. Pause you. Pause you. Pause you. Hopefully we'll be okay. Get this guy uncovered. We can then obviously pump water out of all of this and have no issues for running out of water. What I'm thinking is we remove this. Put a ladder. You do a fancy ladder. Let's do a fancy ladder. Staircase. Gosh. Yeah, I think we do that. Awesome. So that's in. So that's going to pump. In fact, it's almost done anyway. There we go. Yeah. Out. Are you behaving? You're not. You're trying to stay at 4. I think we keep it at like. Yeah, let's go lower. There we go. You're behaving now. Yep, that's sorted. Bad water's sorted. If we have a problem, we'll move these out to... I mean, these can only go to a depth of 2 anyway, can't they? So... might just need to build some more that are lower. But we'll see how we get on. Right, that's in. What could we do? So that will come with time. Do we unlock Beaver statue? Again, we could do slightly cheesy that they've all got to go past it to get everywhere, or the equally cheesy, stick it along here. And for now, that's what we're going to do. Scarecrow. Yes, please. Beaver statue. We can get that to hit all of them. Put it there. They can reach it as well. Excellent. Bulletin pole. That can go there then. Brilliant. And monuments. Yep. Could go there. Brazier of bonding. Could go there. That should give us a huge boost in well-being. Let's get those built. More well-being would be more gooder. We get some wheat planted. If so, where? I remove that, or if I move that, I could move it to here. Chestnuts, isn't it? That. Do I do a bigger one? We do. Yeah. Move that as well. We should have a lot of our stuff that doesn't need to be out on the lake. That feels like a somewhat sensible idea to me. Yeah, so things like hauling posts, builders' huts, storage, housing could be out on the lake where it's not taking up valuable, usable land. Because, you know, it's silly for it to be on usable land. And yes, it's a little bit like JC did many, many moons ago when he played on here, but it kind of makes sense for this style of map. So I'm trying to think about what we do for a zipline network, because at the moment everything's quite compact. There might be benefit in... Oh, we definitely need to get rid of that tree. So it's a seedling, so it'll just go away with one of them. So we might be okay, actually. We're really 16 beavers short. We have 20 kits, so that should get better. Get better. Right. let's time lapse getting this built. I haven't done one of those in a while, and then we will see where we're going.
All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. Welcome to the room of people who have rooms of people that they loved one day docked away. Just because we check the guns at the door doesn't mean our brains will change from hand grenades. You love another psychopath sitting next to you. You love another murderer sitting next to you. You think I'd get here sitting next to you. But after all I've said, please don't forget. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. We don't deal with outsiders very well. They say newcomers have a certain smell. Yeah, trust issues not to mention. They say they can smell your intentions. You laughing on the freak show sitting next to you.
Okay, the drought is over. The pen for the aquatic farm is in. The aquatic farms are built, and they're starting to put in the explosives for what's going to be the first bit of dynamiting for our water tank. I've got a plan to do something, given that we don't have simple triggers. Hopefully it will work. We will see. You're gonna come. Oh, we have a mess over here. So open that up. Probably not a surprise because I wasn't paying attention. Let's pause that. That should resolve that mess. We also have a lot more beavers now, which is good. And our water supply was just fine going through the end of that. I'm not sure if this dried out because I wasn't watching, the same as you weren't. We are still somewhat short of beaver, but things are getting better. In terms of planting, once we've deleted these paths, I tend to plant in blocks in my aquatic farms. Others do it differently. That's fine. So we're going to do... Actually, let me just remind myself. The refinery... that is... Spadadoc, yeah. The Spadadoc recipe for fuel is actually very efficient. So I'm going to leave a few gaps here just in case we don't have our water system sorted, which is entirely possible. So that we can throw some emergency water dumps in if we need to. We can plant out to out there. Brilliant. So we're going to do a lot of Spadadoc. A reasonable amount of cattail. Probably I'm going to just leave a few clear over here as well. I think we will potentially need quite a lot of water dumps if we can't get the and we probably won't have the water system built in time to keep this thing hydrated. So yeah. Just trying to be a little bit realistic about things. It might be worth us actually just levying across here so this can be deeper. I don't know. Will it get deeper? Probably not, because it's still limited by the depths that this can get to. So, you know. Right. H for boom. Music-wise. So, one of you pointed out, thankfully, that I had the base game music back. That is because of having to reinstall the game on this computer. And I've turned it off for now. I don't normally have the base game music playing in the background because on old Timberborn videos that I did, I got pinged for copyright issues, not copyright strikes, but copyright issues for using the game's music. So the last couple of videos I did were fine, but I'm not willing to risk it. So yeah, we'll be going back to the music that I normally use. I know others use it and seem to be fine, but yeah, I'm not willing to risk it having to re-edit videos having had the issues in the past. We are getting through that scrap metal. We are getting through the scrap metal faster than we're using it, it would appear. So actually, they can't get to a bunch of that. So we need to think about getting over to some new scrap metal. Now, I think we want to start thinking about getting up here again. Let's just pause for a second and think. I mean, I guess at this point we can unlock a longer bridge. Which bridge do we need? Not that one. We used the 2. And then platform there. And there. There. We start going spiral staircase from there. Where do we go? Normal staircase. Eight. That's a double platform, and then go triple staircase, triple platform. Oh, I can't spiral under there. Okay. No. Double no. Triple platform, but with path. Double platform. Spiral staircase there. Or do we want to start unlocking? Actually, let's be smarter. Unlike one of the YouTube channels I watch, we will try and work smarter, not harder. There. Yes, that is genuinely his slogan. Work harder, not smarter. There. 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 Yes. So my plan will be to put zip lines into this. This might be our first zip line. We're up here. Once we're up here, we get access to some gears, some extract, and some treated planks. And a whole load of metal. So that'll be cool. BL for these guys, it would be worth. You might have seen me in the time lapse put in another warehouse for planks. as well. With all the exploding we're doing over here. Explosives and extract, obtain. Feels like a good idea. The monument building, I'm going to deprioritize those. Those are not important. Well, not in the grand scheme of things, anyway. Probably worth throwing in. No, not there, because that'll block access. Put that one, that will let them get at least that stack and that stack. That's another 100 scrap metal. Good. Yeah, we are going to want to think about getting a zip line up to here. And also moving some stuff out here, I think. I think I put a path there. We're going to move, what's that one? Potatoes. Are we just burning through the potatoes as fast as we are growing them? We are, okay. So let's plant some more potatoes there. We will move the hauling post. So it's going to be that hauling post, which is 5 high priority workers. Planted. It is awesome. Worry about the processing chain for that later. I can get to that, which means they'll be able to get to building all of that. Be a job they'll get to eventually as well. I think given where we are, we should probably plan for needing fluid dumpage. Keep that. Full and growing. So going to prioritize those. That's in, so that can go. Have a farm that can access that. We don't. Okay. But if I put a farm there. Yes, that would work. If I want to plant some wheat there. So we could put some there as well. Potato storage could go out there. We should plant that area up with potatoes as well. You know, we want to be growing crops. You can be paused for now. Actually, so we've got 4 incapacitated beavers. Okay. Wheat going in. Well, some of it is because that's the bit they can reach. Do we need you? think we do, and we could always build it out on the water. So put a few more squares of wheat there. Wheat we can get. And right. That. I should open those, shouldn't I? Probably a bit late, but you know. Close those. Pause those. Kick water that way. Yeah. Wash, pause. Close. Good. There's going to be some flooding. Stuff happens, but that's fine. I'm just going to leave those there, but open. Yeah. That will do its thing. And we're good. Awesome. Right. I'm going to get to that for a while. Give that a bit of priority so that we can get the rest of that wheat growing. Doing range. Okay, so we need that to be built. And can't remove that one yet. Ideally, we want to get up here as well, so we can start using that aquifer. The way we can do that is that gets us up there. He can clear those. Now, that guy will clear those. There's the way I can get to that one is to put a platform there. Yep. 18-day drought. Yeah, so we are getting into the longer droughts now. So this is not going to stay irrigated for 18 days. Which is where these are going to come in useful until we get this built. And the first step of this is just building a big water tank. Do want as well get a dirt excavator going. Theory, we could slowly start building. If I knock that out, we can get power into it. And this is why one of you suggested we have windmills, because these are now not generating power. But yeah. Because I want to put dirt on top of this because it's going to be a water tank, so it'll be useful to maybe grow crops because this will be irrigated. So, but I think I'm going to call it a day there, folks. I have no idea how long this video has been. Because I've recorded it in several chunks. But we've done a few cycles. We've got a few cool things done. So I think we're starting to get our cattails up. So let's just sort that out. So cattails go to cattail crackers. So we need a grist mill. could just put it there, which is going to be ugly from a power point of view. So we should put it there. So I'm going to disconnect these, which is fine because they're going to get power from the wind. Put that there. Yes, please. Run the path along there. We can put some storage there and there. One for cattail roots. One for cattail flower. Let's prioritize those. And then bakery is 3 by building, isn't it? So we'll worry about where we're going to build that next, because I think that's unless we keep this as an industry area. Some gravity batteries over here. If they're small ones. The obvious thought would be, yeah, because that gives us access to 3 by length buildings. Close to where we're doing power-based stuff. Cattail crackers, so that would be good. Yep. That would definitely work. So I want to try and keep land free for land-based things. Because we are not overly flush with it. I think we need to work on a better backside divert so that we can then use more of this land. That would be good. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Comments, questions, suggestions below. I will see you all next time.